And it says we are live. I'm here. You're beautiful. It's Thursday night. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes Live. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, a.k.a. GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share. Of course, subscribe. And while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit the notification bell, please. Wait, that didn't go back. I think I'm starting to lose my bell. Hit the notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. Happy New Year. This is the first show of 2024. And also, something that I'm going to guess nobody here knows about, maybe one or two, but I'm going to guess nobody knows about. Happy national, or is it international? I have to check because my wife knows this better. Yeah, National Ribbon Skirt Day. That's a recognition here in Canada. This is my wife's ribbon skirt. Of course, a lot of people know that her heritage is Indigenous, and the ribbon skirt is something that represents a lot of things. They're all very unique. They all tell their own story, and they're connected to ideas of resilience and spirituality, and being connected to the land, and telling the story of young Indigenous women and girls, and a connection to your heritage. So, yeah, my wife has one, and today is officially National Ribbon Skirt Day. So, you know what? I figured I should give it the recognition that it rightly deserves. After all, the last few weeks, I've been doing a whole lot of happy this and joyous that for different holidays. Also, the Japanese have their own kind of New Year tradition celebration. I can't remember the word, but a happy New Year to them with that celebration as well. And I should know the word. I know it starts with an O, and if somebody knows it, they can say it in the comments. I just don't remember. Tonight, we're going to talk about Fans Hobby. We're going to talk about Iron Factory. We're going to talk about Kang Toys. We're going to talk about Earthspark. A little bit of TF Nation. We'll touch on Transformers ONE and this outlandish comment from this dude. And I think it speaks volumes, though, to why a lot of fiction struggles, but we'll get to that in a little bit as well. We're going to do our first trivia of 2024, and we will do the unboxing for this week. You may have noticed yesterday that I absolutely did not put up this week's countdown question because, of course, this week, or I should say this coming Monday, I will give you guys the results of my own personal weakest releases of 2023. So, and I say weakest, I can't say worst because I don't know if there was any that was worst other than the gimmicky junk. But the ones that I thought were the more, I'm going to say bottom of the barrel, for lack of a better term, although this was a year that was abundant with a lot of good offerings. Not all of them, but there were a lot of them. So let's get all of this sort of set up here first. And bear with me. Hope you guys are having a tremendous week. If anybody's on the road as we are doing the show, please be safe on the road. Around here, we're actually kind of bearing down. We're supposed to have a storm. I don't know. A lot of people are like, oh, tomorrow everything might be closed. I don't know. I'm thinking it's not going to happen, man. I'm thinking it's not going to happen. Time will tell. Hey, Waspinator. Hey, Ash. Hey, Big M. Hey, Mike. Hey, perhaps a dog. How is the bell? I don't know, man. My bell seems to be like, I don't know. It's like it doesn't want to go back or something. I don't know. We'll use it anyway. Hey, Input. Hey, Heathen. Hey, BS Prime. Master Fire. Been a while, buddy. Just got Ratchet. Hope you enjoy him. Hey, Darren. Me and Darren been talking all day. Thoughts on Pretenders as a whole? I like it. used to give great prominence to the one pretender that I had as a kid, which was Skullgrin, and I liked that I could take him apart and, in essence, have two Decepticons, which I really needed because they were a great way to kind of help fill out the ranks. You kind of got two for one if you wanted to kind of look at it that way, right? So personally, I like them. As for the way that they do them now, I think that the hybrid model that they use is the most logical way to give us something that homages those characters while also giving us full articulation. Because I'm going to tell you now, I have less than zero interest in paying an arm and a leg for a good bot that has to be small enough to fit into a static shell that really has no articulation. Man, I didn't like them being not articulated 40 years ago. I sure wouldn't like it now. And if anyone's like, well, put the whole bot in the body so that the shell can have articulated arms and legs. No, now you're getting too complicated. And that would be like a commander class price point for a pretender. Get real. So I like them. I like them. I liked them years ago. I like the updates they're doing. I dig them, and I think that there are some great characters in there, like the Cruel Blood or the Starscream like Dowros or Skullgrin, if you will. You know, the sadistic Bludgeon. I mean, the Decepticons definitely got the better characters, though I do really like Metal Hawk and, you know, Landmine. I can't remember all their names now. It's been a hot minute. But the Autobot ones were never as intriguing to me as the Decepticon ones. Hey, Marcus. Hey, Manitoba. If I'm skipping some stuff, guys, I apologize. I'm just going to try to stay on topic. Got Tiger Hawk today. He's a big boy. Yeah, I hear that. I got to be honest. I don't know how I feel about Tiger Hawk. I thought he was weird in the show. I thought his original release was weird, and I think the new one is weird. And like, he takes up a lot of real estate by the looks of it. Like, it looks like he really splays out. And I honestly, I don't have the space for him. I don't know. I don't know about him. I really don't know about him. And I hear that his transformation is bonkers. I don't know if that's good or bad. People have just said that it's nuts, especially in the torso. I don't know. Can't speak to it. Yeah, it's harder to come up with a list of bad ones, Mike. You're right. Absolutely, you're right. Tarn and Armada Megatron made my top 10 worst. Armada Prime makes top 10. I mean, I don't understand how you could ever put Tarn worst. He was like my number one best for the year. He's fantastic. He is, there's no hollowness. The articulation is pretty much unlimited. He's sleek, he's smooth, he has tons of paint, he has a brilliant transformation. He got those neat little nubs so that his bottom doesn't scrape along the ground. I can't possibly understand what there is to not like about that mold, whether it's Tarn or Bludgeon. I think it's one of the strongest Voyager molds they've ever done. As for the Armada Prime, can't speak to it, don't have it, less than zero interest in Armada. So unless I get a loan of it, like, I would never spend money on Armada stuff. But that's just me. BS Prime says 2024 starts strong with Titans Return, Triptychon, nice Studio Series, Cybertronian B, Last Night Drift, Dark of the Moon Ratchet, and Crosshairs. That's a lot of stuff, man. As we go down here a bit, of course, as I say that to input, I mean, let's be honest. The lists that we do, our top 10s, are super duper subjective based on the molds and our experience with those molds, right? That's why I like doing the fan voted ones first, because they're majority rule, right? Which is obviously, if you've seen my best versus the fan voted best, you can see that they are very different lists. Does Tiger Hawk have waist swivel? That's a good question. Tarn's arms don't need to lock into place at all because they're fine as they are, but okay. I mean, a lot of times, just because something can lock into place, I can't say that's a strength for it. There have been lots of times where stuff could lock into place and I've left it unlocked because locking it limits it more. So I kind of prefer sometimes when things don't lock into place. I want a torso to lock into place. I want knees to be solid. Other than that, I'm pretty good. Everything else could be ball joints for me, and I'm a happy camper. Yeah, I enjoy everyone's top 10 list because they're all different. Just like Input said, they're all different. That's the thing. You can watch the best and worst lists for the year, and you can get a sense for the most popular ones, which is why I do the fan vote, right? Magnus and Armada Optimus. I mean, I reviewed the Magnus. I didn't buy either. I mean, have two of them would have been $300. Like, I'm not into it. I'm just not into it. It's your prices are on drugs. So no Hasbro. But I've only heard good things, and the voters, scored them high and whatnot, right? I can only do my list based on what I bought, as can everyone. Some people will be anything that they got in 2023. Some people will be only released in 2023. So it varies a lot, and they're always very, very interesting to see, right? My son's is steadily growing, but that's largely thanks to me. He got it down. Inherit the stuff. He got it down. 45 degrees of waist rotation. I'm assuming he has some kibble, big M, that keeps Tiger Hawk's waist from, swiveling all around, I guess. I'm assuming that's some kibble. Hey? The fan votes are great, but I personally like people's personal top 10s more. It shows their preference for Transformers more and sometimes their personalities. For example, Legacy RC is in my top 3. Ew, gross. That's all I'm going to say about that. But yes, it does show it. The reason that we do the fan vote is because we're trying to get as objective and definitive of lists as possible. And honestly, the only way to come up with an objective list, if there's any such thing, not that there really is, the sociologist in me says that there's no such thing as a random sampling, but that's just me and my sociology background. But yeah, I mean, the most objective way that we can do this stuff is through fan vote, which is why generally we do them as fan vote, because most people disagree with my opinions. Like, I'm a very honest dude. Input talked about it the other night. Talked about, is your collection yours, on Teal and Pink, I think it was. And honestly, it's so funny because Oracle was talking about, was it Stanley Tools? I think it was Stanley Tools. And then right after I was done watching it, my wife started talking about the same thing. And I was like, oh my goodness, they were just talking about that on Teal and Pink. It was the exact same thing. Go figure, right? The weakest one in the last year for me was probably mainline Nightbird, the Studio Series one. I'm assuming that's what you mean. I mean, I saw it. I didn't pick it up because I've heard nothing but terrible things about it. If you mean the one from the 3-pack, I don't know. I don't have that either. I got to be honest. I don't think either of the Nightbirds look very good. I seen Tiger Hawk's transformation, and it is too much, I think, and I think the waist does turn. Origin Jazz was good. Yeah, he was. Old guy here just dug into my old G1 stash. Tires on my G1 Autobots are deteriorated. Any place to buy third party? Yes, as a matter of fact. I don't know if they're produced yet, but stay tuned to Half the Battle Toys. So where's Sovereign Knight when I need him? Sovereign Knight had the same sort of issue with the tires on, I want to say maybe a reissue Optimus Prime or something like that he had. And there's a resin version that's able to be printed that shouldn't break down because it's plastic, not rubber. And apparently HTB, Half Battle Toys, is working on making those readily available to replace your tires. That said, I can't speak to any of it myself because all of my G1 stuff still has the rubber intact. I've never experienced the cracking, breaking rubber, and I don't know why. It's never been a thing that I've experienced with mine. But I know it's common for sure. I know it's common, right? I mentioned Craftsman tools in my brother's career. Okay, if you say so. I don't know what you're talking about there, but I wasn't talking about in comments. I was talking about them talking. If you were in the comments, I wasn't there for the live comments, Blue. I saw it after. The 3-pack Nightbird. Yeah, again, I don't know. I mean, I don't need a Cheetor. I don't need Pablo. So I didn't need the Nightbird. I wasn't going to, pay a bunch of money just for Nightbird. Well, yeah, you can't even have a random vote. Even your own fans will probably have some commonality with you. Maybe, but you do get a majority rule of what people generally think, right? It's the best way you can go about it, right? Combiner Wars Prowl is awesome, especially with repro labels. I mean, I'm not a stickers guy at all. I find that I gave Toy Hacks a try ago. I find that generally they peel off. I don't find them to be very good quality. A lot of times they're stuck on the package. I know people go nuts for them. I don't enjoy putting them on. I don't enjoy taking them off. Every now and again, I get a nice big one that covers something, but to sit down with, Kingdom Blaster and be 7 or 8 hours of work time trying to put on stickers, it's not fun to me. If you like it, cool, man, but it ain't for me. It's just not for me. Should I get Noah? Yes, I reviewed him and I love him. The funny part is I thought I was gonna hate him. I was like, this is so bad because it's just Noah underneath this silly jet thing. But you know what? He's a blast in hand. He's a fun little guy. Go check out my review, Master Fire, because I liked him a lot more than I thought I was going to. Is anyone out there hearing you? I'm assuming that's some quote from something. HTB, half the battle toys. I have some of the nanobots that they do. Mike, the guy who pretty much runs it, he also has like a hammer for the O1 Studio cell. If you look up HTB toys or half battle toys, you'll find them. And honestly, Mike is really good for people contacting him and reaching out and stuff. If you were to contact him and ask him about the tires, you know what? You might luck out. If Sovereign Knight comes in here, ask him about it because he knows the details a lot better than I do. Keep your eye out in the chat for Sovereign. He would have more details for you, Grand Paul. Yeah, your typer's working, buddy. I like toy hacks, but they take a while to ship. I mean, a lot of people like them. It's not my thing. Yeah, they are expensive for stickers. That's true. I like Combiner Wars Prowl, although I do have Combiner Wars Streetwise. I still need Combiner Wars Blades. I like the mold. I mean, I have Streetwise, and he's great. I have the mold a few times, and it's a great mold. So it wasn't the Prowl for me, but I respect it. I think it has a great head sculpt. Considering we got Noah, wouldn't it be cool if we got other human characters as core figures like Sari from anime? I absolutely agree. As a matter of fact, I talked about Sari last week when we saw a whole bunch of what could have been for animated season 4. And you know what? When you see Sari there, like in her full robot, she bears a striking resemblance to Twitch from Earthspark. A very striking resemblance. But I agree with you, Master Fire. I think that would be great. I don't have the hand or patience to put on decals. Yeah, I hear you. Unless I would like to suggest an NBK Devastator Blaster. You know what? I mean, you could bring it up to him and see what he would say. See if it's something he'd want to produce. He'd probably see if the market's there for it. But you know what? A lot of people have that NBK. Maybe it'd be a thing. Check out Kian Charlie. He has more info. Hey, Blue Star. They're bringing out a recolor of Cell this year. I really want a Unicron, but 300. Would you recommend it? Here's the thing. When I got mine, it was still under the Zeta Toys banner, and I got it for $249, which turned out to be 300 Canadian. I hear you. I've been wondering about the Primus, right? Seed. I'm not sure. 300 is steep, but Cell is magnificent. If you have the scratch, I mean, he's magnificent, but that is a steep. I'm not going to lie to you. That is a steep one. I mean, I don't regret him. I have him right here, and I absolutely adore him. The trick with him, because some people will say, his transformation so hard. It's really not. Most of it is quite simple. But the trick with him is that you have to get the arms positioned perfect. They have to have the exact right band. They have to be slotted in. The arms need to be positioned perfect for all of the planet panels to be able to fit together. If your planet panels aren't fitting together, I can 100% guarantee you it's because your arms aren't positioned just perfect. Go back and check them out. That's a hard one. I mean, my gut says yes. I don't see Hasbro doing a Studio Series Unicron. They're not going to do a Studio Series Unicron. They did the HasLab. That was your chance. I know. If that's what you're holding out for, get Cell. It'll be infinitely better than anything Hasbro comes up with. He literally is a robot that turns into a ball by turning inside out. It's insane, the amount of engineering in it. Plus, he has die cast at the joints, which is nice, solid, hefty. Yeah, if you're asking me, should I get Cell or wait for a fictitious Studio Series Hasbro Unicron, get Cell. You'll be way happier. Plus, it's actually accurate, animation accurate. A flip out peg on humans for Cybertronians to hold them. I mean, I don't think I need it, but maybe. I like him. He looks good with my G1 collection. He does look good with your G1 collection. I could totally understand why you get him. Plus, he looks better than G1 Devastator. You know, right? I totally agree. I reviewed him. I have the Combiner Wars one, but I did review the MBK. He was the copy that I reviewed. I mean, in combined mode, he was a little looser than I would have liked, but as Constructicons, they're amazing. And for what you would have to pay for that full combiner, you really can't go wrong. You really, really can't go wrong. Like a silly electric guy. Do you mean Crimzeek? We have a Crimzeek. It came with the Reflector 3-pack. Crimzeek's been done. Kian Charlie is the Transformers animated guy. Oh, in the Transformers fan base. If you say so. He even did his own unofficial. Yeah, I'm not going to. I mean, an unofficial season 4. Get that junk out of here. Just do the thing. But I didn't know his name. Hey, James. It's so funny. Has anyone been reading the new comics? So I have actually, like Duke #1. I have the first 2 or 3 issues of Transformers, and I have the first 2 or 3 of Void Rivals. I literally have not had the time to read any of them. I just don't have it. And when I do have it, I've been so tired that I just haven't been able to read them yet. But I got them there, not because I've ever liked Transformers in comics. I wasn't a big fan of the Marvel run. I wasn't a huge fan of. I detest IDW. I just think the company is bad. But as I say that, because this is new, I'm willing to give it benefit of the doubt, right? Hey, look at that. Thanks for the information. I am so confused by all the lines available today. Yeah, trying to figure out what works best for with old guys. Listen, buddy, you can ask me anytime and I'll give you whatever honest information I have. We might not always agree, but I will always give you the respect of being honest and forthright with you. If if I'm a bit brutally honest, it's always with the best of intentions. By the way, I want to give you a big shout out, my man, because Grandpa is not only today's Super Chat super fan, but apparently it is his 3rd super on a live stream. And that's something that came up for me that I was able to share. So I'm really glad I was able to do that. Hey, Lion Primal. Hey, Jay. Armada Unicron is awesome. I agree. Was my Unicron for a long time. Has thus far been my Unicron in Universal Collision as well. I got Duke #1, and I surprisingly liked it. Yeah, I haven't been able to read them yet. They're literally over by my bed, and it's no good for me to try and read them in the night. My old man eyes, I can't see it in the night. I need it in the daylight, which in winter is rough, especially since I work all day. So it is what it is. Okay, woo! Let's get into the news. We're gonna fly through this because we have been a lot of time here with the chit chatting and stuff, right? The new comics are by Image Skybound. I am expecting an Invincible crossover. Like how Marvel IDW used to. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, let's get into the news and notes and get through that. Fans Hobby, they showed off their mini cons, the ones that turn into the Road Assault team, and they make, of course, an MP scaled Skyboom shield. Very, very early prototypes yet, but I mean, it fits with their Armada Prime. That Skyboom shield, along with their recently showcased Star Saber trio, man, they look really good, super articulated. Speaking of the Fans Hobby Armada Optimus, we have now seen him combined with their version of Armada Jetfire and wearing their version of Overload. All are greatly articulated. He's gigantic combined because it's all MP scale, really huge. And I think there was one image, I want to say on tformers.com, where it's all three of them together and he's holding the Star Saber. And I imagined him holding the Sky Boom shield. And I was like, man, I mean, Armada's not my thing, but come on, that's one formidable force of an Optimus Prime. I've heard that Naval Commander, their Armada Optimus, doesn't have the greatest, I guess, stability because of loose joints. But I heard that the recolor has better stability. So I don't know. But it looks really, 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 really good. Speaking of third party, Iron Factory showed off their drill horn, which is, of course, part of their Lyle Kaiser combiner. And interestingly, it looks like the thigh and the lower leg and the knee are all built into drill horn. So he's the whole thigh and lower leg. An interesting way to do it, but I think I'm in for it. I think I really, really like it. Honestly, I think that I am a fan of it. Wonderfest Winter 2024 in February. Neo Player One is doing a soft vinyl version of Beast Machines Primal Prime. It is the Optimal Optimus in the like red, white, and blue color scheme. I think last year they did a vinyl Optimal Optimus, and this year they're doing Primal Prime, right? I don't think it articulates or anything. It's in the gorilla mode. It's cute. It's, I guess, an exclusive. I saw it and I was like, I feel like that the market for this are the same people that would buy like pop vinyls. I feel like it's that sort of a market. So if that's your thing, I don't know, check it out. If you're in Japan, I'm not even sure where Wonderfest Winter 2024 is. I think Japan. Matrix Workshop. They showed off an upgrade kit for this guy. It is a partially transformed Studio Series 86 Brawn. The upgrade kit from Matrix Workshop adds a drill to the front. I think it like notches up under the bottom of the grill. But that's not all that it comes with. It also comes with, and I'm going to turn this around and put him back into his robot mode. It also comes with something that's kind of neat, but I don't know what you would really do with it if he's not explicitly using it. It is the fusion cannon of Megatron, and he's able to, of course, like hold it up like on his shoulder and I guess out, right? Even though now he has his blaster in his hand. I don't know what you're supposed to do with Megatron's fusion cannon when he's not using it. I guess you could like stick it in the top of the vehicle or something. I mean, it's a 5mm port, right? So, but I don't know, Brawn with Megatron's fusion cannon on his roof. I don't know. Not real inconspicuous, but it's a nicely molded fusion cannon and a really nicely molded and painted grill. Drill that would go on the grill. Simple little set from Matrix Workshop, but you know what? I think it's a neat little one. XM Studios showed their Optimus Primal limited edition. It's large. It's a large statue. It's a statue, not a figure. It's a statue. Tons of sculpted in detail, loads of paint, very stylized. It will be limited to 199 copies worldwide. It will have kind of two options for display. One where he's holding his two swords. One where I think he has like a fist and then his arm out. And I think like the blasters are up on his forearm and he's like pointing. So you can change his arms out for display options. Now, here's the thing. While he has the arm options, while he has all the sculpted detail and all the paint, and I'm sure he's large and all of this, while he's limited to just under 200 copies worldwide, you're going to have to dig deep in your pockets if you want him. And by the way, images are up on, I want to say T-Formers, maybe TFW, but definitely up on T-Formers. How does $1,440 plus tax plus shipping US sound to you? If that sounds good to you, then buy this, I guess. All in, I guess you'd spend about 2,000 US on an Optimus Primal statue. If that's worth it to you, then go for it. But to me, I saw that price tag and I was like, just because you can make something, don't mean you should make something. You know, I'm just saying. Kang Toy showed off their MP Snarl. He's 24 centimeters or 35 with his, you know how Snarl's tail comes out like over his shoulders? Well, the Kang Toys one, which is a lot of gold and a lot of silver and not as much red as I would like. And I don't know if there's any black. So it's very stylized, but he could take off those tail pieces and use them like flails, whips, swords. I don't know, something, some sort of melee thing. So if you take those off to the top of his head is 24 centimeters. You put those on. Of course, they come out and angle up. It's 35 centimeters. I mean, what else is there to say? Wings, they call them his wings. Yeah, he's bulky. He's spiky. If you know the Kang toys, Predacons and Predaking and that style, this certainly falls in with it. The only reason that I knew that this was Snarl is because the first picture I saw had his wings, if you will, out over his shoulders. And I said to myself then, that got to be Snarl, right? And then the next picture was his dino mode. And I said, yeah, that's a Stegosaurus. It's definitely Snarl. And then the next picture, he was holding them. And I was like, if this had been the first one I would have seen, I would have never guessed in a billion years this is Snarl. The face isn't Snarl. The body isn't Snarl. It just, to me, it's cool. It's a great design. It looks really neat. But I feel like it's too much of a departure for me to see a Snarl in it. I don't see it. I know it is their version of Snarl, but to me, it's just stylized too much, man. Back to kind of mainline. Earthspark showed their cyber combiners being out in the US this week. We talked about it last week, where basically you have Mo and Robbie, and you can take them apart, and you have Bumblebee and Twitch, and you can take them apart. You can mix and match the like chest and head and upper arms, I think, with like the lower part of the body of a bot and put them together that way. They are out in the US. Ooh, I lost my pen. They are out in the US, so if you're in for them, cool, I guess. Gamer Starscream, Mohawk, and Scrap Heap are all filtering out into Canada. I saw Gamer Starscream today. I mean, a Voyager now here is after going up again. So I looked at him and I was like, I don't like this $50 enough to get it. No, thank you. I prefer the deluxe. Honestly, I feel like the wings on the Gamer Edition one are way too small. It's like they took the deluxe wings and put it on the Gamer Edition Voyager mold. And I don't like the asymmetry for his weaponry. I prefer the Gatling guns on the deluxe. That's just me. I'm sure a lot of people will love Starscream, and I have nothing against it. But for me, it wasn't worth $50. You know, it just wasn't worth $50. But yeah, hopefully a Scrap Heap and a Mohawk sooner rather than later. Time will tell. Are you ready for Valentine's Day? That's right. We just ended Christmas and New Year's. We just had today Ribbon Skirt Day here in Canada. And already Valentine's cards are out in the US at Target. They are G1 Valentine's cards if you're interested. Staying with Earthspark for one more second, I forgot to also mention that Deluxe Starscream is out in the US. But don't get excited. All Deluxe Starscream is the Deluxe Cybertronian mode. Cyberverse Starscream with a new paint job. So if you like the Deluxe Cyberverse Starscream and want it in a new paint scheme, cool, get it. If you didn't like the Cyberverse Deluxe Starscream, then don't get this. The Deluxe does have knees. The Warrior class that I think they use for Skywarp does not have knees. That's the difference. The Warrior is a Earth mode. The Deluxe is a more Tetrajetty Cybertronian mode. So it is what it is. Legacy core classes are also out in the US. Toy Tour are doing super deformed figures. They are a Chinese company. And it doesn't seem like they're going to have much articulation other than the neck and shoulders. I don't think there's any other than the head being able to go around and the shoulders, like the arms being able to go around. There's no elbow or wrist or T-posing or waist or knees or hips or any of that. They are going to be blind bagged. They come with a lenticular collector card. And they include Rat Trap, Cheetor, Rhinox, Waspinator, Black Arachnia, and 2 versions of Megatron. One with just the normal face, one with like a grinning face, and I think his rubber ducky, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're in for something that doesn't transform and doesn't really move, and you want to import it from China, get these, I guess. I feel like there's more and more products that I see that I'm like, I don't understand why they're wasting money and time making this. Who would ever buy this? Like, stop and think now and ask yourself, a Cheetor that his arms can go around and his head can go around. There's no transformation. There's no other articulation. Are you really going to spend money on that in 2024? I don't know. It seems crazy to me. I mean, even G1 had more um, articulation than that. So I don't know. Seems weird to me. Also in China, apparently there's a crossover with Rise of the Beast for some mobile game. That's some sort of weird competitive shooter. I don't really know anything about it because it's a Chinese game and I don't play mobile games as it is. The TF Nation Mini. That's going to have another IDW dude by way of Chris Carter. And I don't remember the guy's name, but apparently, like, he worked in the toy business and worked for like a few companies, including Hasbro, and happened to work on Transformers for a time. I don't know. I see some of these guests at some of these cons because, like, there's a billion of these cons now. And I'm like, I'm just waiting for somebody to be like, this was the lunch lady that worked in the cafeteria of Hasbro for 6 months. Boy, does she have some stories, and we're going to do a panel with her. I don't know. I just feel like some of these guests, some of these cons sometimes are a little be like me being a guest. I shouldn't be a guest anywhere. Um, um, a lot of people are guests that shouldn't be. I'm just saying. Crayons. Remember crayons? Yeah, remember crayons? Of course you do, because I got a few of them in the Christmas unbagging from Maximal 10 just a couple of weeks ago. Well, Series 3 was never released, but what would you think if I told you that we might have what seems to be Series 4 that also wasn't released? So I guess these are prototypes, I would imagine. There's an Optimus Prime that looks very much like a knight with his gear, a Bumblebee that has like the same hood around his head as Megatron, Megatron, who can have his hood or a spiky head or whatever, Jazz, Starscream. Starscream looks pretty cool. He kind of looks Vikingish, I remember. And what some have guessed is Hot Rod. I tend to think it looks more like an RID 2015 Drift myself, but maybe it's a Hot Rod. I don't know. They're weird. I don't know if they're ever going to be for sale. I don't see them being released now, and I'm not even 100% sure kind of where the pictures came from, but they were cool to see. Those pictures are on TFW 2005 if you're interested to see them for yourself. Back to Earthspark for a second. We talked about the deluxe Starscream and we talked about the cyber combiners. Well, we also have some more images of the Optimus Prime with his trailer. And the trailer sort of opens up to give you like a ramp that a car can drive out of and a platform that has like a, I don't know, like a computer schematic or something next to it. It's obviously supposed to be like a little base. Again, this is just the Cyberverse Optimus with that trailer repainted. All the Earthspark line has largely been, other than the new characters, has been a bunch of Cyberverse repaints. It's been pretty lackluster, I gotta say. This is the craptacular Warrior Optimus that I certainly one arm has an axe out and no elbow. I'm not sure if the other arm has an elbow. The front of his leg seems hollow. I don't know. I don't think it's very good myself, but you might if you want it cool. It's just the exact same thing as the Cyberverse one. And we already did that. And the last piece of news, Takara showed images, I guess, in-hand images of Studio Series 38 Nemesis Prime, as well as the Kingdom Optimus Primal mold in pretty much all red, a lot of it translucent, as Burning Convoy. Both Burning Convoy and the Nemesis Prime were a crossover exclusive for the release of Rise of the Beast, where you had to purchase a ticket and a certain amount of merchandise or something, and like show your receipts or something. Anyway, they have started to ship the Nemesis Prime and the Burning Convoy. The Burning Convoy is this exact same mold, except I know the shoulder pieces are translucent. I want to say some of the body is, and maybe the forearms are translucent. The blades on the swords are gold. His mouth is gold. The pictures that we saw on maybe T-Formers, maybe TFW, maybe both. He's holding some Battle Masters. The Battle Masters are not included. They are just, I guess, other exclusives that were shown alongside this one, but they are not at all included. Great mold as Burning Convoy from Beast Wars 2. I mean, if you're into Beast Wars 2 and you lived in Japan and you had that, ticket stub and your receipt for some merchandise, I mean, it'd be cool to have. I wouldn't go out of my way to get it, but it'd be neat to have. Great mold. Let's do the trivia, and then I'll check in with you guys, and then we'll do the unboxing and get out of here. So, the trivia. Yeah, we flew through the news tonight. That was really nice. That was very smooth news. The trivia tonight. I hope it's an easy one. We'll see if it's an easy one. We'll see. How many seasons and episodes did Rescue Bots have? Did Rescue Bots have 2 seasons and 97 episodes? That's A. Or B, 4 seasons and 104 episodes? Or C, 3 seasons and 66 episodes? Or D, 3 seasons and 73 episodes? So did it have 2, 4, 3, or 3 seasons? Did it have 97, 104, 66, or 73? A, B, C, or D? We will see in a minute. I'm going to go up here and see what's up. It was about here that I stopped. I have one Transformers tattoo, Decepticon symbol on my back. Anyone else have Transformers tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. I would be far too much of a sissy to get a tattoo. My wife has 2 very small ones. I don't like pain, and I do not have a high pain tolerance. I often call myself a princess, and I'm cool with that. I won't hold my breath for an Invincible crossover, but I won't be surprised if Jeff Bezos will do it. I think Legacy Armada Prime looks better than the Fans Hobby Armada Prime. I don't have a dog in that fight. If you think it looks better than cool, you're probably right. The Fans Hobby one is MP scale. He's magnificent, but he definitely has a lot more bulk hanging off of him, like panels and stuff hanging off of him. I think the Legacy one looks cleaner. I think it looks cleaner, but that's all I can really say on it. 2024 needs to be 2025 now. Not a good start. That is rough. Ultra Megatronus. My 2023 was like that, and you know what? The whole year was garbage. I'm glad 2023 is gone. Luckily, 2024 so far has been an okay start. We'll see how it goes. I think I'll go in on Iron Factory Lyle Kaiser. I mean, that's your choice. You certainly can. There's no reason not to. I mean, he's going to be legend scale, so he's not going to match like Combiner War size combiners, but I have no doubt he's going to be splendid. Also, Karen Croft. Carrie, what is that Long Beach Anime Con this week? I have no idea who you're talking about at all. I'm convinced that there's no way that me and Blue would be able to sit down and actually have a conversation because I rarely understand what he's saying or talking about or who he's talking about. My brain doesn't work like yours, dude. Shame we never got Primal Prime and Power of the Primes. I guess I wouldn't want Primal Prime. I always thought that looked kind of silly myself. But you know what? I can understand the repaint. It seems like something that they would have done. We did get a gigantic, weird, like Primal Prime that like never sold for 30th anniversary. I want to say maybe 35th. I'm not sure now. Hey Grandpa, I appreciate it, buddy. I saw the upgrade to Brawn with the Megatron Fusion Cannon. I'll give it to Megs instead. I mean, you're saying you'll give it to Megs instead. I guess it depends on if it would fit on him. I feel like that the Fusion Cannon might be too small, but try it. Let me know if it works out. The Optimal Optimus is Power of the Prime. The Optimal Optimus and Power of the Primes is okay. Could have been so much better. I'm not sure how it could have been better, but okay. I got him. I like him. I don't want another one. $144. Let me hit you up on a Swiss bank account. Giant tail swords. Almost 14-inch tall Snarl. Sounds like a winner. I mean, I don't want a Snarl that's taller than combiners, but that's just me. To each their own. I have the original video game Seekers. Yeah, so do I. I mean, honest to God, to this day, the Fall of Cybertron, Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp are still three of my absolute favorite molds of all time. The articulation on them was nuts. The transformation was very easy, but very functional. And their Cybertronian, I guess it was supposed to be Tetrajets with the forward swept wings, they just look bad, dude. Like they look, and I don't mean bad in a bad way. I mean, they look like they would rip you up. Love the robot modes. I mean, they're a great Seeker trio, and I was a long time getting them. I can remember searching high and low, but that was back when the deluxe was $12, 12.97 actually, regular price. I mean, I got my the only time I ever saw Skywarp was at Target when it was here. That very brief 2-year window when Target was in Canada. I saw him at Target, and I bought him from Target, and he was on sale at Target. So my Skywarp, my Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Skywarp was $6. There's no way that I could possibly see, like, the Gamer Edition is, 50 here. I mean, that 50 would have to be really $44 better than the $6 I spent on the deluxe. And I don't see it. I just don't see it. But that's just me. I do a lot of comparison now, right? Because I've been around this a long time. Got my car on Valentine's Day. I will have it 2 years on February 14th. I got my car in January and I'll have it. Actually, I'll have it 3 years this month. But I got mine because I was in a car accident. So that wasn't much fun. I'll probably get Cyberverse Starscream as my OC character. Yeah, you're always doing OC characters. Maybe you should be a guest at the TFCon LA and Hasbro should pay your ticket. I'm sure they detest me. I have no doubt that they detest me. Also, I don't have a passport. I literally, legally cannot enter the United States. And that's fine with me. I don't really want to. Just to be fair. I will say this. By the way, speaking of Hasbro and hating me, we are now in 2024 and not an email about my death source. Nothing. Zero. Not a word. So Hasbro failed miserably to meet the fall deadline and failed miserably to meet the 2023 deadline. As far as I'm concerned, the rollout of Death Source is something that should be a great source of embarrassment to them. They have failed miserably. And if you have yours, cool. But remember, there's some 27,400 customers that paid the same money you did. And all 27,400 and some odd of those customers should have him in hand now for several weeks. And I haven't even gotten an email, nothing. Abstract failure. Honestly. And I know that the term is abject failure, but I'm saying abstract failure. I'm deliberately saying abstract failure because honestly, it makes no sense how this company can continue to run. They literally don't make one choice right. None of their decisions are right and haven't been for quite some time. Man, you gotta fire Chris Cox. He doesn't know what he's doing at all. Not a clue, man. Y'all have Bertha the lunch lady, right? She's gonna be a guest. Season 2, possibly March. I don't know what that is, but okay. And around here. I have some Creos. Really wanted the Nemesis Prime. I'm going to Taco Bell Con just to see the guy who does not get gastrointestinal issues no matter how much Taco Bell he eats. Man, look, we don't have Taco Bell here, though they're supposed to be coming here. I've eaten it a lot, though. Every time that I have ever left here, I have tried to fill myself up on it because I love Taco Bell. I don't care that it's garbage. I've never had any issue with it. To be fair, though, my go-to here at home is McDonald's. So, B, 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 C, B, 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 D, C, C. The correct answer is B. 4 seasons and 104 episodes, which makes Rescue Bots the longest running Transformers show, tied with Rescue Bots Academy that had 2 seasons of 52 episodes a season for another 104 episodes. The closest behind them is G1 with 99 episodes. Isn't that wild? What wild trivia that was. I love that stuff. I've been watching Rescue Bot since middle school. Oh my goodness. I don't know how old you are, but child, man. I mean, you know, I was 30 some odd when Rescue Bots came on, so I have a bunch of tattoos that were cool when I was 21, but are ridiculous at 50. Four seasons, 104. Good for you guys. 2024, day 4. I've been watching Beast Wars recently. Almost finished with it. I may watch Beast Machines again. I mean, if you're watching Beast Wars, you have to watch Beast Machines because it's really season 4 of Beast Wars, right? Like Beast Wars doesn't end at the end of Beast Wars. The story's not finished because Beast Machines is literally the continuation of that story after they get back to Cybertron. And Beast Machines is, for right or wrong, for good or bad, and it is esoteric. I didn't enjoy it until about my 4th watch through of it. Now I enjoy it. But it is really the end of G1. It brings the whole story full circle, right back to, you know, at least a somewhat organic planet, which Cybertron originally was. Weird, but anyway. Speaking of Power of the Primes, we need a Primer Prime Sentinel. I don't know what that is, but okay. Gamer Edition Starscream is fun, unique Transformer, but not for $50. And that's the thing. I'm sure he's great. And if a Voyager here was still $30, I'd probably be like, and yeah, I'll pick him up for $30. But like, you know, the GameStop I saw, $48.99. So plus tax, he's going to be a little over 50. Like, I'm just no. FOC Seekers fall under Thrilling 30, didn't they? I have those and the Planet X ones. I prefer the Hasbro. Yes, they did fall under Thrilling 30. You're absolutely right, buddy. I love Beast Machines. I'm with Ken. I remember when Taco Bell was 59. I remember seeing the commercials and it was 59.79 or 99 cents for the menu. And I used to be like, man, that's cheap. Yeah, I mean, that source hashtag Hasbro suck. I mean, all I wanted was my thing on time, like you promised when you took my money. You're the business. You're supposed to be impressing me, and you failed miserably. Even if I scored that source at a 10, I'm only going to be able to give him about a 3 because I'm no longer excited about it. Now I'm just angry about it. You failed so miserably that now I'm just angry about it. I can't wait to be done supporting Hasbro, which I'm closing in on. Then Imperial, you don't understand Beast Machines. If you're saying Beast Machines was nothing but garbage, then you're 100% wrong. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, but it's deep, very deep, and it hits hard. I'm going to say you don't understand the show. I'm not going to say go back and watch it again because if you think it's garbage, then you're going to go in with a bad attitude. But you're not right. You're objectively not right. It's a far more mature, esoteric show. It is not your regular Transformers show. I'll give you that. I'm not even a huge fan of necessarily the designs, but the way the story weaves is very, very good and very, very important to the fiction. You're in your mid-20s, never drank and never gonna get tattoos ever again. I only had 10 tattoos years ago. I meant dinner, not diner. Taco Bell came to my area. The menu was $39, $59, $79. That's wild, wild, crazy. I bet it's not that now. Okay. Let's do the unboxing. Get out of here. I love you guys. Tonight, I'm going to give you 2. I got more than 2, but I'm only going to give you 2 tonight. And the 2 that I'm going to give you, funny enough, they're just coming out in the US now, will be 2 of the cores, namely Tasmania Kid or Snarl if you prefer, and Boulder Crash. I'm really loving these guys, man. And you know what? I'm going to say it now, and I don't want to ruin it, but they are 2 very impressive cores for what they are. Not for nothing, but here is our boy Tasmania Kid. Yeah, the hands are weird. The transformation is very interesting. Takes a little bit of getting used to. But it's interesting. It's interesting. The articulation is pretty good on this guy, even with the backpack. More mass here, more solidity here than Rat Trap. In fact, I would call this a true blue Legends class offering. even though we call it core class now. But we'll see more about that when we do the review of this guy. By the way, tomorrow's review will be Magnus. And guess what? He blew me away. Wait till you see that one. And this guy. And I was excited for him. Now, in the package, he is kind of like this, like sort of like bow-legged. Again, he's tall, he's solid. His mass is right there. This thing in his hand can go on the back if you wanted to. I did not like this. This doesn't fold away. I was like, oh, I don't like that. But guess what? It's not the problem that you think that it might be. Yeah, this guy has grown on me. I already love the look of him, but he's actually been growing on me. So that tonight are the two items that we had picked up this week. We'll see a little bit more next week. Anyway, for now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. I love each and every single one of you. Thank you for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time, man. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, as we kick off a brand new year of Transformers fun, me and you, don't ever forget for 1 second that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward, man, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams right here on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way inside the videos.